Hey guys, today I thought we would go through what I read in January 2017, even though it wasn't a whole lot. So my last video was a video about kind of my headspace coming out of January, and I will link that for you guys if you are interested. But basically, it was a very weird month. Leading up to and after the inauguration, I was kind of all over the place. I was having real focus issues, and that definitely carried over into my reading. I picked a lot of stuff up and I was really in the mood to read, but I couldn't seem to make myself sit down and focus on any one thing for an extended period of time. Thankfully though, the Diversathon happened at the end of the month, and I honestly don't know if the organizers realized that it would be the week after the inauguration, but it was the perfect timing for me, at least. It was exactly what I needed to kind of get me back into reading and get me out of a general life slump. So during that readathon, I managed to complete 2 books and then start 2 others. So I will start off, of course, with what I completed. The first book I completed for the readathon was something I had started at the beginning of the month and was not actually on my readathon TBR, and that was The Buddha in the Attic by Julie Otsuka. Now this is a novel set in the 20th century and follows a chorus of Japanese women who leave their homes and their families in Japan and then traveled over to the United States as picture brides for the Japanese men who had come over previously looking for work. When I say that this is narrated by a chorus of women, I mean that it's written in, gosh, I don't actually know what I would say. I guess it's like plural first person. They use we as the pronoun. And it tells basically a lot of alternate and yet very similar experiences of what it was like being a Japanese immigrant in 20th century America. I did a full video review of this if you would like to hear my full thoughts on this and listen to some excerpts and see if the narration style would be to your liking, so I will also link that as well. But I ended up giving this one 4 stars, mainly because the subject matter kind of redeemed it over the slight repetitive nature of the narrative style. Then the other book I completed during the Diversathon was Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. This is of course his memoir of growing up as a mixed race or colored child in apartheid South Africa, and it blew my mind. Like it was so good. I gave this one 4.5 stars. First of all, if you're gonna read this, I would suggest you go get a copy of the book just to support him, which is what I plan on doing next time I'm at a bookstore. But I would also highly suggest the audiobook because he narrates it himself and he is just such a spectacular narrator. He does different voices for every single character in his life, and because of the nature of South Africa, where there are so many different language groups existing in one small country, I feel like if you don't listen to it in the audiobook, you might lose a little bit of that something that just made it amazing. Especially as a biracial person myself, I found it really interesting to get an account of what it's like to grow up biracial in a completely different country and social and political climate, and I thought it was a perfect mix of humorous childhood and family stories with a really astute discussion of what apartheid did to South Africa. The only reason I took half a star off of this amazing memoir is that I felt like the organization in places didn't quite make sense. So for example, he starts off fairly chronologically, going from when his parents met to his young childhood, and then kind of jumped to when he was in his 20s, and then went back to childhood, and then jumped up to slightly older again, and I just felt that some of that, you know, chronology, that jumbled chronology, was a little bit hard to follow, but that also might have been clearer and easier to follow in the physical book. Regardless of that, I would still highly recommend this memoir, and again, I gave it 4.5 stars. Then I did start 2 other books during the readathon, which I just didn't get to finish, the first of which was The Essential Quran, The Heart of Islam, an introductory selection of readings from the Quran, translated and presented by Thomas Cleary. I'm serious, like he could have cut that down. It's so long. Now, honestly, I didn't think I was going to enjoy reading this quite as much as I have been enjoying it. It's really fascinating to me to read the source text of a religion that is so contentious in today's world, that so many people have opinions on and yet don't really understand. And And it's really amazing to me that people don't seem to realize how much this references the other Abrahamic religions, Judaism and Christianity. A lot of what I've read so far has been the Quran saying, this is the way that we would like you to do it, you know, this is the way of this book, but the people from those other books, like the Torah and the Christian gospel, they're pretty chill too, and they're still gonna get into paradise. So I don't know, I feel like everybody should read some translation of the Quran, just so that you can understand that we're not inherently at odds with each other. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing this one up. Then the final book that I picked up during the month was Mohsin Hamid's The Reluctant Fundamentalist, and I only got 3 chapters through this one. Oh, not even. I got 2 chapters in, and I'm honestly really enjoying this one as well. This is a story about a Pakistani man named Changez who, at the beginning of the narrative, meets an American man wandering around Lahore, Pakistan, and decides to take him to tea and begins to tell him his story. So right now I'm at the point where he has just gotten an internship, I believe, while he's still in school in the United States, and it's just really, it's a really interesting narrative form. I don't think I've ever read anything quite like this, and I do know how it ends because I've seen the film, and I'm really looking forward to continuing this one. And yes, I did start off the readathon with a library copy, but I actually purchased this from Book Outlet on the day of the inauguration because I was self-soothing by buying books. But we're gonna do a haul later this month, and then you will see the full extent of my damage. So this is what I read and started in the month of January, and I'm really hoping to get back on track in the month of February because I really want to read. I just need to find a way to quiet the rest of my mind so that I can actually enjoy the act of reading. Anyways, if you guys participated in Diversalon, I hope you had a good readathon as well. But for now, that's all I have. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Bye.